Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Like what we're going to have is an unusual talk. So what we are going to do is to have me giving a commentary to the song Feelings. Suppose many of you have heard the song before, even if you weren't of that era like Yvonne. You might have heard of that song, or you have heard that song, or maybe the tune of that song. Yeah, it was a very popular song at that time. So what we're going to do is Yvonne will be going through that song line by line, and I will comment on it line by line. Okay? Right, so are you ready?
Bhante has made a special request with the reading of the lines. So for the first line, I'm going to sing that line out. So here goes. Feelings, nothing more than feelings.
Okay, good. All right. Okay, feelings. Let me start by giving you the standard textbook Buddhist explanation of feelings. So if you look into the Buddhist text, when you see the Buddha describing of feelings, often you would find him speaking of it in terms of that there are three kinds of feelings, right? So there are happy feelings, unhappy feelings, and neither happy nor unhappy feelings. Yeah, so there are just these three kinds. So I suppose everybody know happy feeling. When you feel happy, it could be extremely happy. It could be a subtle kind of happiness. It could be a very peaceful kind of happiness. It could be a very exciting kind of happiness, but it is a kind of feeling that people like. Yeah. And then there on the other side, the dukkha feelings includes every kind of feeling that is unpleasant, that is not of the happy kind. Like when you feel sad, that is an unhappy feeling. And if you're angry, that's an unhappy feeling. And you are scared, that's an unhappy feeling. When you're jealous, that's an unhappy feeling. All these come under this. Then there is the neither happy nor unhappy feelings. That is to mean to say, when people say I'm not feeling particularly anything right now, then their feelings are more of this side. Yeah, more the neutral kind of feeling. But sometimes when people say I don't feel anything, it's not that they don't have it doesn't mean that they have a neutral feelings. It could also be that they have a subtle unhappy feeling and they don't recognize it. Yeah, it could be that way. And feelings, there's something interesting about feelings through the years of me observing feelings. As a practicing monk, I'm taught to be aware of feelings as just feelings. People generally don't do that. Yeah. And even people who try to see feelings as feelings, they don't generally do that as well. But when we are actually able to see feelings as just feelings, it's actually amazing. It's actually quite amazing. But to do that, you need to first try to have the view that feelings are just feelings. And with that, there will be a lesser tendency to react to feelings. Humans generally react to feelings. If it's a nice feeling, they want more of it. If it is an unpleasant feeling, they want to get rid of it, but not necessarily so. They could be so focused on the thing that they are not happy about that they simply increase that feeling. But when they become conscious of that, generally they try to push it away. So this is where you don't get to see feelings as feelings, because you're doing something, you're reacting. Then, but if we are able to see feelings as actually just feelings, something amazing happens. You do not react to it, that's one. And after a certain point of not reacting to feelings, seeing things as they are, you come to understand that feelings are equal. I'm not saying that they are the same. Happy feelings can't possibly be the same as unhappy feelings. They're not the same. But they are equal. They are equal in a sense that they are just something happening, just a natural phenomenon. Yeah, they're all natural phenomena. So when we see it that way, we, at least at that point, we do not desire more of a certain feelings or desire less of a certain feelings, because they are equal. They are not one feeling is better than the other. We tend to think, oh, nice feelings, good. Unpleasant feelings, bad. But the good and bad is our judgment of that. It's not that itself. Generally, people don't see the difference. It's all, the two ideas are meshed up. Feelings in themselves are not good or bad. Of course, we do say good feeling, bad feeling, but what do we mean by that is that it's a nice feeling on feelings that are not nice. Yeah, but feelings in themselves aren't good or bad. Good, bad are our judgment. So, and when we do not have those kind of judgments, feelings are equal. They are not, one is not better than the other. This is not, okay, when I say that, I'm not asking everybody to try not to judge feelings, not to think of them as good or bad, or not try to react. No, that's not what I mean. But ultimately, when we can see them as they are, that's how we see it. We do need to acknowledge how we react to feelings. If we want to be free from these reactions to feelings, then we need to know our reactions. And that is how we start. We start from where we are. However we are with feelings, we need to start from that. Yeah, but still we need to have the idea, if you want to cultivate ourselves so that we can go beyond feelings, we can transcend feelings, we need to have the right view that feelings are actually just feelings. Okay. All right, and after that is what? Feelings, nothing more than feelings. Okay, and see, the song tells us it's nothing more than feelings. It's just that. It's just feelings. It's just feelings are just feelings. So that's Dhamma in this song. But I think when he said it, he's not talking Dhamma. Although there's Dhamma in it, but when he said it, it's not Dhamma, because when people say, oh, it's just feelings, ma, when they say that, they are trying to trivialize it. And trying to trivialize something, it means that it's not trivial to you. True? If you're trying to trivialize something, if it is already something trivial, you don't have to trivialize it. It's already as it is. But when you trivialize something, it means that you're not taking it as a trivial thing. You do take it as something. Yeah, as we can see in the song later. Right? When some people most people take feelings too seriously. Yeah, we take feelings too seriously, and we get very involved with it. And sometimes we like certain feelings, so we want more of it. And when I say like certain feelings, it may not necessarily be the happy ones. People could like unhappy feelings. They like kind of the melancholic feeling. They want to feel a little bit sad, not too sad, but a little bit sad. Sometimes maybe guys not so much. Women, maybe they sometimes like, not all of them, sometimes, and not all the time, sometimes like a bit of sadness. It feels like there's a bit of drama in it. And I suppose that's why people watch Korean drama, get a bit of feeling. If no feeling, life is kind of boring. So they don't have enough drama in their life. They turn on drama and watch drama. So they want to have some kind of feelings. Otherwise, life's too boring. Yeah. So people like, strangely, people even like unpleasant feelings. My teacher, Seattle Dejania, my meditation teacher, gave a very good example. People would go on that roller coaster. Yeah. And when you go on a roller coaster, it's scary, right? But that's what people want. They want to scare themselves to death. They would pay money to scare themselves. Just as you're watching a horror movie. You want to scare yourself. Obviously, fear is not a happy feeling, right? Nobody say fear is a happy feeling, but people enjoy having more and more feelings. So you wonder if humans are sane. They like to have these unpleasant feelings. Yeah. So we need not necessarily be only liking the happy feelings. And sometimes people actually are afraid of happy feelings. This might sound odd. They might be afraid of joy. This happens when people are afraid that they will lose that joy. They rather stay a little unhappy, not too unhappy. But when something happens, good happens, joy comes up, may feel the joy, maybe enjoy it a little bit, then, oh wait, no, I better not feel too happy. In case I will lose it later and feel very down. So they forbid themselves from feeling happy. So in this case too, we are taking feelings too seriously. Actually, feelings are just feelings. They're not a problem. Feelings aren't a problem. The problem is our reaction to those feelings. So basically, everything is not a problem. Our problem is our reaction to them. Neighbor's dog barking is just sound. But when we don't like the sound, we have a problem, right? So like say, if you lost something, that might involve some inconvenience. Yeah, but it is not a problem unless we are not happy that we lost that thing. Not what happens that is more important, is how we react to them. That makes things very, very different. Yeah. So that includes feelings, although feelings are our reactions to things. I mean, I'm assuming those only the pleasant and unpleasant things. Well, not necessarily reactions. Happy feeling could be not a reaction. It's just you're free from suffering. You feel happy. That's that's not a reaction. Yeah. But for those reactions, if we, let me see, where was I? If we do not have, we do not react to them, then it does not grow. Right? If we react to them, then it can grow. Like, for example, say you're feeling unhappy and you don't like feeling unhappy. What happens? You feel more unhappy. Right? But if you're feeling unhappy and then you just recognize that as just a feeling, it's just a feeling, almost like a sensation, it's like wind blowing on your end, and it touches the skin and you feel sensation. If you just let it be just that, then you're cool. You let it come, you let it happen, you let it go on its own, let it take its natural course, and you're fine. But if it comes and then no, I don't like this, then you have a problem. Or you're not conscious of that feeling, you're lost in the thoughts, it gathers momentum, boom, 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 until you realize, hey, what am I doing to myself? But by the time that feeling is so strong, then you have a strong reaction. Yeah. So it's important. That's why the Buddha, in the Buddhist teaching, the first one is right view, to recognize feelings as just feelings. Nothing more than feelings.
And to complement you, I will attempt to sing the next few lines as well. Trying to forget my feelings of love.
Okay, so obviously here the it's not nothing more than feelings. There's a contradiction in this song. If it's nothing more than feelings, it's just feelings, ma. Yeah, why I try to forget it? Why I try to forget so as to in the sense that you're trying to push it away? So actually, this song doesn't make sense. This song doesn't make sense. There are contradictions in this song. I looked up this this song on Wikipedia, and Julie Andrews. You know Julie Andrews?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, you know Julie Andrews. Okay, if you know Julie Andrews, it means that perhaps you're not so young anymore. Yeah. So, but okay, Julie Andrews, in a lecture that she gave, she gave lectures. In a lecture that she gave, said that she cannot, she just can't sing any song that does not have a strong logical statement in it. She just can't do it. Yeah, the songs to her must have a strong logical statement, must have some kind of logic. And she gave this particular song as an example. This song is illogical. And you can see that the lines contradict each other. But then, of course, a song is a song, who cares? That's why it's still a popular song, although it doesn't make sense. Yeah. So trying to forget my feelings of love. This is what we mean by reaction. Yeah, you're not letting, you're not allowing things to be, you're trying to react against it. And actually it gets worse. When I remember when I was in university, well, last year, I think, my final year, and there was a friend of mine who boyfriend dumped her for another girl. And I know her. I also know her former boyfriend. In fact, we live in the same house. And so a group of us thought, well, she probably don't feel so good right now. So we thought we'll go out with her for dinner, let her know that, hey, you still got friends. It's not the end of the world. Yeah. So we met. And when she saw me, knowing that I go to Buddhist talks, and which I think she went about twice as well, I saw her. And the moment she saw me, she said, let go. She said in Mandarin, 放下哦，不要去想它哦。And the translation is let go. Let go. Don't go and think about it. No. I told her, when I heard this, it didn't sound right to me. And so I told her, letting go doesn't mean that you don't think about it. Letting go means whether you think about it or not, you're okay. You don't mind it happening. If it must be not in your mind to count as let go, then it means it still bothers you. You still have an emotional reaction towards it, which means you do have an attachment towards it. Attachment doesn't mean you necessarily want something. Your attachment is an emotional reaction to that thing. You're holding on to it in some ways. And that's why you have a reaction. Letting go is not thinking about it. It is better to think about it, you're okay. It's just thoughts. The problem with thoughts is that when they're emotionally charged and we have this strong reaction. The problem is the reaction, not the thoughts. Thoughts are just thoughts. Nothing more than thoughts. Nothing more than thinking. So when I said that to her, she looked at me and said, never thought about it that way before. And actually, until then, I also never thought about that that way before. So it just came to my mind at that time. So, but to her, that experience taught her something. It taught her not to be afraid of feelings. That's what she told me. Recently, I contacted her again, asked her about that thing. And she said that experience taught her not to be afraid of unhappy feelings. And when it comes, she says, okay, old friend, you're here again, just come. So the experience was good for her in that sense. Yeah, she became more mature. We do become more mature if we have right view over our experiences. If we have wrong view, we don't become more mature. We suffer more. We might even drive ourselves crazy. Yeah, and we suffer a whole lot. One possibility is that we drive ourselves crazy. Yeah. The other possibility is that we don't know how to get out of the suffering. And this is from the sutta actually. Yeah, it's just two results of suffering. One is we just go and we drive ourselves nuts, and the other is we go in a bit, and then we start to think, now there's somebody who can tell me how I can get out of this thing. So therefore, people start to look for self-help books and go to see monks or pastors or whomever or see counselors, therapists, whomever they feel that they can help them. Yeah, which is the right thing to do. Yeah, better than driving yourself nuts. Yeah. So when we do the right thing, then only we can do something. We can solve the problem. We can't get rid of something. Can't get rid of a problem just because we want to get rid of it. So we look at the causes. That's what my teacher taught me. Yeah, if you want to work towards something, you don't just one thing that is not going to give you that. Yeah, what you want to do is think of how you work on the causes and conditions. You look into that. If there is this, if the conditions are right for that to happen, it will happen. If it is not, it will not happen, no matter how much you want it. So you work on the how. That's the important thing. So if you are not having a problem with feelings as just feelings, it's not a problem. But if you have a problem, then you may be trying to forget it. Now, when it comes to trying to forget your feelings or love, actually love itself is not a feeling. But when we say love is a feeling, we are talking about the feeling that is created out of that love. And love is a very complex thing, right? It's a very, very complex thing because when we use the word love, we mean many possible things. There are many, many possibilities. It could be a motherly love. It could be a romantic love. It could be crazy love. I love my wife isn't the same as I love durian, right? It's not the same kind of love. Yeah, there are many, many kinds of love. And there's a song that goes, love is a many splendid thing. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Except when it's not. It is, except when it's not. Yeah. Like example in this song, yeah, trying to forget my feelings. So that is when something happened and the person goes away, and then you hate this feeling of love. It's giving you nightmare, giving you a big problem. It's causing, turning your life upside down. Yeah. And then it says later in the song, it says, "We should never met you." It depends. It depends on situation. We think love is a good thing or not. See, it depends. It depends what happens. So when you think of that kind of love, it is not a free, unconditional kind of love. It is a conditional love. If the love is unconditional, then it doesn't matter. You're here is equal to you're not here. It's not the same, but it's equal. Because why is it equal? Because it's unconditional to you. It doesn't matter. I do not love you more or less whether I'm here or somewhere else. It doesn't change. It's unconditional. Yeah, but when it is conditional, then you should be like this, you should be here, you should not be here. When it's conditional, I want you here. Sometimes I don't want you here. Yeah, you will be expecting people to be in a particular way and to be this way and that way. I want you to be more sensitive. I think you're too sensitive. Whatever. There'll be lots and lots of conditions, and therefore it gets very, very problematic. It's because of all these expectations, these conditions that we have. So feelings of love, what is that? You will know whether or not it is how do you know whether the love is a healthy, unconditional type or it is a very conditional type? You just check your feelings. Your feelings will tell you. Feelings, I like to say, feelings are very honest. Your thoughts, you can lie to yourself with your thoughts, but you can't lie yourself with feelings. The feelings are very, very real. Yeah, you can try to twist your thoughts here and there, and try to rationalize things, you try to forget. But feelings are there and they tell you the truth. You're happy, it's there. You're unhappy, it's there. They cannot lie. It's not possible. Okay, next.
Teardrops rolling down on my face.
Teardrops, okay, obviously this is not a nice feeling, sad feeling. This prompts me to talk about crying. Unfortunately, some Buddhists say somehow they believe that we shouldn't be crying, we shouldn't cry. I was in a group long ago. I was in a group when they would say, crying means you're not mindful. The idea then was that if you're crying, you're not mindful, but actually it's not about that. I think they're using the word mindful way too broadly. It's true if you're crying, you have less samadhi, or I would translate the word as composure. You have lost your composure. That's why you cry. But does that mean that you cannot cry? Yeah, does that mean that you cannot cry? No, I've not read any sutta where the Buddha say, don't cry. He didn't even tell the monks, okay, you not cry. There's no rules for monks. If you cry, you break a Vinaya rule. No such thing. Yeah. If we are overwhelmed by feelings, crying is actually a natural, in fact, a very healthy thing. Trying to force ourselves to not cry, it's very, very unhealthy. Sometimes, unfortunately, sometimes people tell people who have mourning, somebody they love passed away, tell them, don't cry. You think it's so easy not to stop. And when people are crying, they're crying. Telling people not to cry when they're crying is cruel. It's very, very cruel. Never do that. Yeah. If you want to be helpful, just sit there. And if they want you to be there in the first place, just sit there and accompany them. Just shut up and sit there. Yeah. Don't give too much of your ideas, your views, your instructions. Just sit there and that will be very helpful. Very, very helpful. Yeah. Crying naturally happens when we are just overwhelmed by emotions. It could be fear, it could be sadness, it could be anger. There's nothing wrong in itself. But here's the thing: do you indulge in it? Yeah, it's not a crying that's important. So what do you do when you cry? Do you indulge in it, or do you recognize crying as crying? Do you fight with your crying? Or what do you do? Do you see crying as just that and you step out of it? That's my experience. When my father died, I cried. I did. And even, in fact, even before he cried, when he was so different and he was very unwell. He looked so different from the person that I knew that I felt I already lost at least half of him. Yeah. So I cried. That was, well, I didn't expect myself to cry. I was in the bathroom and crying. The thought came up and then boom, it happened. Now, so what do you do when that happens? Do you just spin around with more thoughts and then extend that? Or do you just allow that to happen, and once the pressure is not so much anymore, you are willing to step back and recognize how you're feeling and what you're thinking? If you're doing that, then you are actually being aware, you're practicing the Dhamma. Yeah. And that's the right thing to do. It doesn't matter if you're still crying or not, but it matters that you have the right view and right attitude towards it. It's just crying. It's just a natural thing. Yeah, if you recognize that as that, then you might even get to understand certain things about it. Yeah, some Dhamma, you might get to understand some things. Yeah.
Feelings for all my life, I'll feel it.
Okay, sure. That's true. We all feel feelings all our lives. Either it's a happy feeling, unhappily feeling, or neither happy nor unhappy feelings. It's all time. It's actually part of a human being. Yeah, we have five so-called five aggregates or five bodies, and one of them is feeling. We can't do without it. It's, we can't. It's not possible to not have it. It's not possible to not have feelings. Yeah, it's, if you don't have feelings, you're not human. You're missing something. You're not human. You're a robot. Yeah. So there is this. People were concerned that in the future, machine will become more human because of artificial intelligence. And there is this philosopher say, I don't think we should be concerned about that. We should be more concerned of humans becoming more like machines. Yeah, we have lost our humanity. Yeah, and that's more dangerous. Humans becoming more like machines, and then machines become more like humans. That's a very strange thing. Yeah. So it's part of being a human. You have feelings. There's nothing wrong about having feelings. So feelings are just feelings. This is what we need to remember. Yeah. Okay, then.
I wish I've never met you, girl.
Okay. So that's what happens when you're not happy with your partner. Yeah. So that's in this case, in this song, it seems like the story goes that they have already separated, but sometimes people are still together and they say that kind of thing. I wish I never met you. Or sometimes they're married already. And I know one woman, one of my students tell me that her mother would say about her husband, meaning my student's father, say about him, what chair man? I was blind that she married me. I was blind to have married you. She kept saying that kind of thing. Of course, it's not a nice thing to say. No children would like their parents to say that kind of thing to each other. But she really, it seemed like she really meant it. I was so blind. And when her husband died, she didn't feel sad at all. She was more concerned about him coming back and then when we like a person, when you're the best person in the world. I'm so lucky to have met you, then something happened and totally wish I never met you. Yeah, same person. He didn't change. I mean, pretty much the same person. Some changes happen, but the biggest change is our perception. Yeah, our perception changed, and therefore our attitude towards that person changes. Our behavior, of everything changes. That's our perception change. And sometimes it may not even have to do anything to do with that person. That person may not have actually done anything very different from before. Yeah. But what you like before, you may not like later. Like for example, say you're a kind of introverted person. You don't like to go out so much. You don't like mix around so much. And then you make this extroverted person, and you like this person. You know, it kind of like makes your life more interesting. Otherwise, life is boring. So you like this person. Then you get close to this person. Maybe you get married to this person. Then later on, you don't like that person for the same reason. Too extroverted, too going out here and there, leaving me alone. And then to that person, well, that's not my problem. I invite you to go out and you want to stay at home. So what do you want? Right. So and then you can dislike a person over the thing that you used to like. And that person is still the same. So so we need to check, is it really that person's problem? Yeah. Did we change instead? The next line.
You will never come again.
You never come again. Now that's a weird thing in the song, right? How do you know whether that person will come again? You don't know. You don't know. People that we don't like, things that we don't like might come again. And if we don't ever want to see or experience whatever thing again, actually we have a problem. We have a problem. If we really let go, we don't have a problem anymore, then it's okay if the person come again or don't come again, it's fine. Yeah, that is when you're all right. Yeah, if you used to be involved with someone and whenever you see that someone, you still have this reaction, then you're not freed yet. Yeah. But if that person can come and then you're okay, then you're already freed. But you're not okay yet, well, at least acknowledge that you're not okay. Admit it. Acknowledge. If you want to be free from a feeling, from that unpleasant feeling, you need to acknowledge that feeling as it is, not push it away. Just acknowledge it as it is. It's, yeah, it's true, it's here. I'm not done with it yet. And because you're not reacting to it, then there is a chance, there's a possibility of understanding it. But if you are reacting, we are not okay about this being there, we are fighting, and forget it. It'll never be solved. In fact, it will intensify because of our additional reaction over it, over what is there. And then whenever we react to something, the unpleasant feeling increases because of that reaction, and it piles up. So the right thing to do is to, okay, so what am I doing here? Okay, I'm reacting. Okay, no need to react. I can just watch that thing and understand that. That's the Dhamma practice. Okay, Yvonne.
Feelings. Whoa.
Okay, the whoa part, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Feelings. Whoa. Feel you again in my arms.
Okay, this part I don't understand. What is again in your arms? Yeah, could it be? I'm guessing. Yeah, he may not be referring to the feelings. He's referring to the girl. He's imagining her in his arms again. So he's hallucinating. So love is a dangerous thing. Yeah. So, so okay, then continue.
Feelings like I've never lost you. And
Continue.
feelings like I've never have you again in my heart.
Okay, so um, so here obviously it suggests that that yeah, there's this feeling that the person is still there. Yeah, and when you say that I have never lost you, the person is still there. Yeah. Then the next line, feeling like I never had you. Well, it's funny, pula lah. Then I don't know what he's trying to say already. Like I say, no, Julie Andrews is right. This song doesn't have a logical statement in it. It's just going here and there. But people like songs for the tune. So who cares? Just sing it anyway. Yeah, it's a lot of contradiction in this song. Okay, I'm speeding it up because I want to go on to the Q&A. Right then.
Feelings. For all my life, I will feel it. I wish I've never met you, girl. You'll never come again.
Okay, continue.
Yeah. Feelings. Feelings like I've never lost you, and feelings like I will never have you again in my life.
So this one again in my life could be, yeah, could be connected to the stanza above. You'll never come again. It could be from there. You never come again in my life. That could be a connection there. Yeah, sometimes poetry is a bit weird. It jumps here and there, especially when your mind is messed up. Your thoughts jumps here and there anyway. So it gets translated into lyrics like this. It's all over the place. And when we are messed up, we tend to do that too. Sometimes, I wish you're with me again. Then later on, I wish you never met you. You go like this. We switch. When we go, you see, when we have certain feelings towards a certain in a certain direction, it can come to a point where we don't like that, and we flip to the other side. And we go and go, and we until we don't like that, and we flip to the other side. We don't come to the middle path. If we want to come to the middle path, we don't flip here and there. We can't just cancel out that and cancel out that. Neither can we say, okay, can I have half of this and half of this, and this is middle path? No, that's not middle path. That's half of this and half of that. You're not in the middle path here. Middle path is not the middle of two things. The middle path is a different path. Right? There is this path, and there is this path, and there is this other path called the middle path. Yeah, middle path is not moderation. Yeah, moderation, you could have a balance, you know. What do you call it? Say work-life balance, moderation. Then they cannot find it. Where do you find that middle path? No, middle path is not half of this and half of that. Middle path is a different path. That's the middle path. So when it comes to feelings, the middle path is you see feelings as feelings. You're not running after it, neither you're running away from it. You recognize it as it is. That's middle path. Okay. All right, go on.
And here comes the whoa whoa part again, which is the ending.
Part again, and more whoa whoa and more whoa whoa. Oh, okay. All right. We are done with the song.
Yes, basically it's a repetition of feelings again in my arms.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, thank you very much, Yvonne, for your line by line part singing. Okay, so
Very novel.
now it's time for Q&A.